Welcome everyone again to Bodhi Surf Yoga. Today we have the practice Be Like Air, which means that we're going to have a lot of flying, balancing poses in our hands and in our legs. It's going to be a fun class. Balancing poses are some of my favorite asanas in the yoga practice. But it's very important, once again, to understand that we need to respect the body when we do this. It's all about the breath. It just sometimes takes us too long time for us to accept and understand that the breath and repetition is what creates for us the space to be able to perform all postures. So please be respectful, kind, and compassionate with your body. Don't force it. And if you're sacrificing your breath, it means that you should not be doing that posture. When we're holding stronger poses, we should be able to breathe deeply and enjoy the posture. So for this practice today, we're going to need a block, maybe a strap, and you can do it next to a wall or banister for a variation of one of the poses. So have a wall right next to you. When we get there, it would be good to go against the wall if you have balancing issues. So let's begin by focusing the attention on the breath. Breathing deeply, inhaling, exhaling. Continue there with the breath. Deep inhaling, deep exhaling. And as you find the rhythm of the breath, try to bring your mind right here, right now. In this beautiful moment that we're experiencing in the now, the only moment that it exists. Let's get ready for this practice. Let's get the mind and the breath ready. Breathe with your whole body, feeling the air coming in and out and bringing new vital energy into your body. Inhale, join the hands together in Anjali Mudra, right in front of the chest. And slowly, from here, you're going to open up your eyes. And very slowly, you're going to start releasing your hands down. And we're going to begin the practice today in Balasana, Child Pose. Maybe you're going to need a block to place on the forehead. Maybe you can rest the forehead down onto the floor. Go ahead and extend the arms. Bring the hips back and rest the forehead down on the block. Ground the fingertips and press the fingertips on the floor as you lift the rest of the hand. Again, you can just rest the forehead if the flexibility allows. Relax the neck and isolate the shoulder blade area. Continue there for a few more long breaths. You're extending the spine, you're bringing the tailbone back, and you're grounding the fingertips on the floor as you stay with your legs, with your arms active. Now inhale, lift up the head. And slowly we're going to come up into table pose. Align your hands with your shoulders and the knees with your hips. And we're going to move the spine first. Inhale, drop the shoulder blades, gaze up. Exhale, draw the belly in, chin in. 2 more times. Inhale. Dropping the shoulder blades, gaze all the way up. Exhale, belly in. Last time, inhale. Looking up, lift the chest. Exhale, belly in again. Come back to table. We're gonna warm the wrists. So you're gonna press the fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, come forward, shoulders forward. Exhale, shoulders back, back into table. 2 more times. Inhale, rock forward, hold it there for a moment. Exhale, rock back. One last time, rock forward as you inhale, and as you exhale, come back in table. And now we're gonna do the sides. So bring the fingertips to the sides and inhale, rock to the right side, press the fingertips. Exhale, move to the left. Repeat, inhaling, coming into the right fingertips. Feel as your hand, the whole hand, press down onto the floor. Exhale, left side. Last time, inhale and exhale. Come back to table. Align your wrists again. And the last part is that we're gonna bring the fingers in. And we're gonna pull back with the hips and do the stretch of the forearms. Don't push it too much, just enough to wake up on your wrist. And now come back to center. Come back to table pose. We're gonna hit up the core. So press the front of the feet down to the floor and lift the knees away from the floor and hold it there. Strong mind in a strong body. Use the breath. Use the strength of your mind to hold this posture. Use the breath. Exhale, the knees go back down to the floor. And now we're gonna work on opening the hips. So go ahead and bring the left foot back, and it's gonna be flat on the floor, pressing the outer edge of the foot. Hand is gonna go on the hip so you can open up the chest. And then inhale, take the left arm up, creating one line between both of your arms. Open up the spine, keep the spine long. Maybe bringing the pelvis up to the center. Rolling on your chest, looking at the sky. And then exhale, you're gonna take your hand on the hip. Hold the leg there if you want to, or try to take your leg all the way up. The heel is gonna stay in line with the hip, the leg straight, and flex the toes. And if you feel a pinching on your hip, just release the leg down again. Otherwise, just hold it here and listen to the breath. Exhale, come down, and let's do the second side. So press the outer edge of the right foot down into the floor, the foot in line with the knee. Open up the hip, roll the shoulders in, shoulder blades together, and lift up the arm. Try to create one single line in between both arms, open up the chest. Pelvis coming forward. Keep the arms straight, engage those muscles in the upper back. And again, breathe. Then take the hand on the hip. Again, you can lift the foot where you have it, or if you can, lift the right leg up. And make an effort to stay with the heel in line with the hip. Keep that leg strong, engaging quadriceps. Keeping the leg straight. Keeping the back straight. Then exhale, take the leg back down. Roll back to table, and from here we're going to move into Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. As usual, you can keep the knees bent to keep lengthening the spine, and especially if you have tight hamstrings today. Root the fingertips down to the floor and press with the whole hand down to the floor. Keep the arms long and straight and relax the neck. Relax the muscles in your face. As we inhale, we're going to rock into plank posture and see if you can bring the elbows down on the floor, interlock the fingers. We're going to play a little bit. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. 4 more times. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling, come forward. Exhale, come back. Strong mind. Few more times. Inhaling, exhaling. Strong breath. Come forward, come back. Hold it there for a moment, breathing deeply. We're almost there. And as we exhale, we're going to place the hands down to the floor and rock back into down dog. Lift the belly up, tailbone up. Spread the sit bones apart. Relax the heels down. Now, vinyasa. Come into plank, up dog, down dog. This time, vinyasas are going to be optional, so rest in down dog or child pose whenever you need to. Now inhale, take the right leg up, square the hips, hip neutral, hold it there, keep the leg strong, try to point your toes. You can stay here or you can try to open up that right hip and try to stay with the torso looking at the floor as you lift that leg up. Now take the leg back, hips back to center, rest the foot down, second side. Point the toes. Inhale, leg comes up, hips square. Hold it there, keep the leg strong. And then from here, inhale, open up the left hip, take the leg up. Keep lifting that leg, keep breathing. And as you exhale, hip goes back to neutral space, back into down dog. Optional to stay here or take the vinyasa. Come into plank, chaturanga, up dog or cobra. And roll the toes, down dog. Now, on your next inhale, you're going to take the right foot between the hands and you're going to keep the back heel away from the floor, coming to high lunge. You can also rest the knee, back knee down to the floor or come into high lunge. Lift the front of the body. Bring the arms forward, engage the shoulder blades together and then arms back again and open up the chest. See if you can do a micro back bend with your spine. As you exhale, take the hands down, step back into down dog. Second side, left leg comes forward, coming up into the high lunge, arms up. And let's do the same. Arms come forward, roll the shoulder blades together and lift up the arms so you come into a micro back bend. Lift the chest up. Keep bending the front knee, lowering the hip. And as you exhale, hands down, flow back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Option to stay here or rest in child pose. Start walking your feet all the way between your hips. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Stay on the forward bend and grab the elbows. Try for the hips to be in line with the heels. Bend the knees a little bit if you feel the tightness on the hamstrings. And allow the spine to rest. Drop the head. Relax the upper body. And hold it there. Deep breathing, inhaling. Exhaling. Now take the hands down to the floor. Inhale, extend the spine. Hands in the hips and slowly coming up. And we're going to go into chair pose. So let's bend the knees and bring the fingertips together, pressing the fingertips against each other. So bend the knees, inhaling up. Exhale, bend down. Repeat. Inhaling, coming up. Keep the arms strong. Exhale, coming back down. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, coming back down. Okay, we're going to hold it here. And not only we're focusing the attention on the squat, but also we're pressing fingertips as we roll the shoulder blades together. Keep the strong arms. Look for a steady point where you guide the attention. Shoulders away from the ears. And on the exhale, you're coming back up. You're releasing the pose. Back to mountain pose, Samastiti. You can pause the video and rest if you need to. We're going to move into the challenging poses. So spread the legs, bring the right foot forward, the left foot back, and come into Virabhadrasana 2. Track the front knee in line with the sit bone and in line with the toes. Keep the back leg straight. Keep the torso right on the center, the arms in one line. Hold it there. Now take the left hand into the hip, take the right hand into a block. Look down. You're going to move the block forward and you're going to leave that block tall. Start switching the weight to the front foot. Bend the front knee. Look for the balance and start lifting up that back leg. You can do this against the wall if that helps you better. If you have no issues with balance or with knees and hips, you're going to extend that standing leg. You're going to roll the chest up and you're going to lift the arm. Keep looking up to the front. Try to have the heel in line with the hip. Maybe it can come up a little bit more. Again, the best way to do it, if you're new to the practice, is do it against the wall or a banister. Make sure you use the block. Make sure the toes on that right leg stay in line with the edge of the mat. Now let's come down. Come back into Virabhadrasana 2. Roll the toes and let's move to the second side. First, move the block. Put it right next to the left foot and extend the arms up. Virabhadrasana 2. Again, remember, this is a more advanced pose. So look for a variation that works for you. Do it against the wall. Do it with the knee bent. Respect the alignment and respect your body. So you're going to take the right hand into the right hip and the left hand down to the block. Look down. Move the block forward, coming up. Switch the weight. You can keep that knee bent and start lifting the leg as far as it gets without pain on the hip. Start lifting, and if you can stand that leg, both of legs, that would be fine. Open up your chest, open up the arm, and hold it there into Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon pose. Watch your breath. Now take the right hand into the hip. Bring the foot back. Bend the front knee. Step back into Virabhadrasana 2, coming up. Extend the arm and extend both legs. Bring your feet parallel. We're going to move into Prasarita A. So you can use the block on your head if you're trying to reach on the floor, or you can do without it. Take the hands down to the floor. Keep pressing the other edge of the foot. Bring the hands flat, bend the elbows, and allow the head to rest on the floor. Maybe it will get there, maybe not. Imagine you have your arms into a chaturanga, so bend the elbows, shoulder blades back, activate the muscles in your upper back as you keep pressing with the hands down to the floor. Keep those hands and arms strong and keep lengthening the spine. Press with your hands on the floor. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, take the hands into the hips and slowly with the back straight, you're coming back up And now you're going to start bringing your feet closer to each other. We're going to move into Malasana. You can sit on a block if this pose is new for you. And just hold it here. And we're going to take Bakasana from here. So stay on the block if this is the first variation and you don't know the crow Bakasana. It's an arm balance. Stay in Malasana, and if this is a pose you can handle. Hold it here. We're going to get the body ready for Bakasana. But again, if you're new to the practice, let's begin here, just by working on your Malasana. If you're not new to the practice and you know your Bakasana, we're going to start getting ready. We're going to bring the feet closer together. Maybe you can use the block to have it on the forehead, not to lose balance. Otherwise, open up the knees, take the hands forward, and take the knees behind the armpits. Okay. Track your shoulder in line with the elbow, in line with the middle finger. Come on up with the hips. Rock forward, press the fingertips down to the floor. Lift one foot and then lift the other. Try to keep the feet together to engage the lower belly. And hold it there. And again, once you're holding the position, concentrate on the breath. If the breath is not flowing, it means that the body is not ready for the pose. We're going to do it one more time. So again, you can do this variation. Just play with it if you want to try it. Careful with the wrist. If the wrist hurts you, your body is not ready for it. And let's come up again. Rock forward and see if this time, if you know your Bakasana, come with the feet together and up. And hold it there. And let's come down again and sit down. Let's extend the legs up to the front. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana. We start with Dandasana. So elongate your legs and take the arms up, inhaling. Come on forward and grab with the strap, the big toe, the edges of the feet, or interlock the fingers behind your foot. Keep lengthening the spine and then rest the head down if you want to. You can also just keep the head in line with the spine and hold it there. And work on lengthening the spine as you stay into this pose. You can always lengthen a little bit more and see if you can rest the head closer to the feet. Now extend the spine before you release the pose. We're going to move into Marichasana A. The first thing to consider in Marichasana A, we're going to bend the right knee. This will be the first modification. Bring the right arm around and below the knee and hold it here on a forward bend. And please stay here. Don't pull your shoulder. If you know Marichasana and you want to give it a try, you can also use the strap if you're not binding yet. So you're going to bring the right arm forward and then the armpit below the knee and maybe grab the strap with both hands and hold it there. That would be the next variation. Work on also rolling the left shoulder out so you actually can get closer on the binding. Finally, if you know full variation, you're going to try to bind hands or grab the wrists and rest on a forward bend and hold it here. Keep the opposite leg straight and strong, almost like the whole back of the leg is pressing down onto the floor. For Marichasana, it's important to bring the heel as close as we can to the sit bone and try not to open the knee to the side. Inhale, extend the spine, release the pose. Let's move over the second side. Come forward, bind your hands behind. This is final variation, or stay in the other variation that we explained before. You don't need to force the binding. The binding just comes by repetition. Extend the spine. Release the pose, and now we're moving down to the floor. So slowly find your way down to the floor, and once you get into the floor, we're going to do happy baby pose to release the lower back. Bend the knees next to the torso, grab the big toes and press with the hands so your knees can come down. You feel the sense of opening on your lower back. Then release that pose, bring the feet down to the floor. We're going to extend the right leg, grab the ankle or use the strap and bring that right leg all the way towards the chest. You can even see if you can grab the heel and keep stretching that leg. Switch, second side. Lift the left leg up. And again, use the strap or grab on your ankle and press. And now release. And finally, go ahead and bring your knees all the way up to the chest. Hug your legs. From here, we're going to take Shavasana. As an advice, you can put a stack of pillows or a bolster under the knees, not to put pressure on the back. Or just enter full Shavasana, separate your legs, hip distance apart. And for the next 10 to 15 minutes, relax, let go, surrender, feel that you're flowing on the air. Namaste, everyone.